I would like to focus on a very special keyword in this tutorial, and that is an image of an anthropomorphic object. You can see an example of that in the background behind me. These are videos that I created with Kling using images from Midjourney. There are many AI models such as Kling, Minimax, Runway, Pika, or Luma for videos, Midjourney, Flux or Ideogram for images, Suno or Udio for music, and 11 Labs or HeyGen for dubbing. They all have one thing in common. Without the right prompt, the idea will quickly come to nothing. Let me therefore show you a simple trick on how to create images like the ones you're looking at right now. See you on the Midjourney website in a moment. Well, here I am again. Of course, I've prepared 3 slides that will help you to better understand the topic of this tutorial. As a designer, I would like to explain it to you using this simple visual form. I did some research at perplexity.ai so that I wouldn't tell you any crap. My question to the system was, as you can see above, what does anthropomorphic mean? As a result, 4 points are listed here. From this list, point 1 is the most important. Anthropomorphic means transferring human characteristics or behavior to animals, plants, objects, or machines. There would also be natural phenomena or architecture, but I don't want to go into that any further in this tutorial. Instead, concentrating exclusively on the 4 sections: animal, plant, object, and machine. These are precisely the 4 pillars. Let me translate this into graphical language. You can see that the rhino sits relaxed in the ocean. The banana is going crazy. The pen is very annoyed because it's so wet. And the robot is lying in the water and chilling out. You can see exactly these human traits. If I were to put a clumsy banana or other things in the water, it would certainly be much less attractive. And that's why this slide is here, for comparison. You can see a simple rhino on the left. The banana is floating on the surface of the water. The pen has been placed in the sea, and the machine, in this case a rusty fridge, is on the beach. But the emotional connection, I'll compare it again, is simply much stronger with the first approach than with the second. If I want to create interesting videos, you probably know this from Pixar or Disney, then the viewer naturally establishes a connection much more quickly if it looks more human-like. Even the disgusting cockroach somehow becomes likable. And especially when the eyes are used, it is much easier to build a relationship. I would now like to use the example of an animal to show you the different human character traits. Instead of an animal, you could of course also use fruits, plants, or other objects. But for the sake of comparability, I'll stick with the sloth. This chilled and friendly animal species is often heavily used, so you may already be familiar with this creature. In this image, you can see the sloth in its famous pose. Its motto in life could be something like this: sleep instead of work. I know some people in my working environment who behave in exactly the same way. They live for laziness rather than creating something. Fine, if it gets them somewhere, then so be it. The prompt I use here to build this scenario is a hyper-realistic image of an anthropomorphic animal in firefighter gear. Of course, I entered sloth instead of animal. As you can see, the animal looks relatively active compared to the image you just saw. It is literally standing in the fire, wearing a protective gear and fighting to bring the fire under control. In the next picture, you can see the hiker with a backpack. I have written a much longer prompt for these images than usual. You can find it in the description below. Just use it to find out for yourself how Midjourney interprets it for you. In the next example, you can see the sloth with military gear in the jungle. Then here's an example: the sloth as a farmer, with the appropriate clothing, hat, and a bag to collect the fruit. The next one is a sloth as a race car driver. Here's the sloth as an explorer on the high seas. The ship is in the middle of a storm. By the way, the video kling.ai created with this is incredibly impressive. Here's an example of a Mongolian fighter in the days of Genghis Khan. And as a final example, a ghost in the style of Harry Potter in a magical Scottish castle. Here the sloth flies around and scares people. You can also see that the sloth is not sleeping, but looks very dynamic and smiles. These are typical human traits. I would simply like to motivate you to get started yourself. Find an animal of your choice, a fruit, or anything that you would like to have with arms and legs or faces. As I said, just use the prompt suggestion from the description. I hope you have lots of fun with it. That's it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and recommend it to others. Thank you very much for listening. See you soon. Your channel, AI. Now you know.